610 AD, the ancient city of Mecca. Historical Islamic accounts in the Hadith say that Muhammad, the last great prophet, was sent by God to unite the Arabian Peninsula tribes under a single religion of Islam. Before forming Islam, Muhammad is said to have retreated to a mountain cave, where he received a series of revelations from God.
Muhammad would take a period of time each year to reflect and pray in a cave in the mountains nearby. During one of these retreats, the angel Gabriel came to him and had a prophecy for him and was his guide throughout his ministry.
The angel Gabriel is somebody who is known in the Old Testament. He makes appearances there. He also announces the birth of Jesus and John the Baptist in a Christian.
Prophet Muhammad got on the Barak, and the Barak flew him over Jerusalem. And I always was like, what the is a Barak? Instead, it's like no smaller than a donkey, no bigger than a horse with wings. I said, oh, what's a Barak? I said, Barak. They could keep calling it Barak. I said, I read it over and over again. I'm looking at it like, Prophet Muhammad got on the Barak and flew him over Jerusalem. Angel Gabriel came and got the Prophet Muhammad out of his bed one day. He said, we about to go on a trip to the 7 heavens. Allah called for you. He said, here's the Barak, get in here. And he got on the Barak, and him and Angel Gabriel flew over Jerusalem. They got to the main masjid. He went inside. And then inside they did some prayers, met some people, and then they got in something else and took off into space. And each heaven they stopped and landed, got buzzed in, talked to different prophets on each level, each heaven, until they got to Allah. Allah was at the 7th heaven. When he talked to Allah, Allah told him to go make everybody pray 70 times a day. So when he got back down to earth, he started calling the people to pray 5 times a day. After Allah told him 70 times a day, Moses told him, he said, Moses was like, yo, man, he's like, man, they ain't gonna pray 70 times a day. Go back up there and tell Allah to give you a reduction.
This in a Christian context. Now, when it comes to Muhammad, we're seeing that this angel is all of a sudden far more important.
According to Muslim legend, Muhammad formed an intense relationship with Gabriel. During Muhammad's retreats, Gabriel is said to have given the prophet the complete text to the Quran.
In the case of Muhammad, what we're seeing is he stays with him for 23 years. He reveals the Quran to him. And it really, once again, shows you that there are these messengers of the gods, these entities who come to us, human beings, and say, you are chosen. If you're willing to listen to us and work with us, we will actually teach you information about the divine.
Now the angel said to Muhammad, I will take you with me.
They kept going back to Allah until Moses kept sending them back up there. Man, go back up there. They ain't gonna do it, bro. I'm telling you. He got it down to 5. Prophet Muhammad said, man, I'm not going back up there. Ask that man that no more. And he did. So these is things. I'm like, what's a Barak? So one day, so I'm at Juma, right? So I see the Imam, and a lot of times after the Imam get his speech, a lot of people be asking questions, talking to him. So one day I caught him by himself. I said, Assalamu alaikum. He said, I said, what do Barak mean? He was like, first he looked at me, right? I would never forget the look on his face when I asked him that. He just seemed so like proud that I even asked him that. I don't know, it was just something about it. I said, what do Barak? It's like he knew what I was, he probably knew why I wanted to know that. I said, because I knew who Barak, I knew what a Barak was. but I just didn't know what it mean, what the word mean. Cause it described what the Barak was like, it said it was no bigger than a horse, no smaller than a mule with wings. So in my mind, I'm thinking it's like a horse with wings or some, but really, it didn't say it was a horse or no donkey. It just said it was no bigger than a horse or no donkey. I gotta look at it again. But I asked the imam, and I'm gonna tell y'all later on, I asked somebody else about what that meant too, and I found out some other stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all about that too. I asked the imam what the Barak mean. He smiled at me, and then he said, the speed of light.
And they fly over the earth. He sees the whole planet. They circle the earth. And then the angel brings Muhammad back to the cave. They were surrounding the earth very, very quick because it probably took one and a half minutes, the whole surrounding around the earth.
Is it possible, as some ancient astronaut theorists believe, that Muhammad was repeatedly taken and seeded with information over time in a series of extraterrestrial abductions? Researchers point to one particular interaction between Gabriel and Muhammad when the prophet flees the holy city of Mecca in the direction of Jerusalem.
The angel Gabriel came to Muhammad with a creature, a winged horse, the Barak, who was able to fly him to Jerusalem some distance. It was called the farthest mosque. And
Barak means the speed of light. And when he said the speed of light, I looked at him. When he gave me the answer, I looked back at him. I probably looked at him like it was the best. I felt good or something. When I looked at him, he smiled again, even brighter. Because I was bright. My lights was on. As soon as he said the speed of light, I was like, oh. And he was like, I was like, thank you. And I walked off. I said, oh, Barak means speed of light, huh? Speed of light, the spaceships travel through the speed of light, because when you look in space, it's a lot of miles you gotta go. It's regular miles on the highways over here, 100 miles an hour, 200 miles an hour. We're going through the speed of light, so it might be 1,000 miles an hour, shit like that. But see, there's more space up there, so you can go that fast, because it ain't nothing but space. You ain't gonna crash into nothing. But going that fast, it might mess up your ears, so you have to put on certain uniforms that can protect you from all of that, I guess. Because this is what they be wearing and putting on, you know? This is what made me come up with when I'm an author, and it made me come up with the book called UFO Sightings in the Bible and the Quran, because this is all I have been interested on learning about for the last 15 years.
meditated there for a time. And then after some time of visit there, he went to heaven and was able to visit with the prophets, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and then with Yahweh, Allah, God himself, and get insights and inspiration, then came back from the heavens to Jerusalem and back from Jerusalem to Mecca, completely inspired for his further teachings.
It is said that he goes from Mecca to Jerusalem in a single night. This is a physical impossibility. It simply cannot be. Now, rather than take this allegorically, if we take it literally, we're actually given the tools and the explanation as to why this might have been possible. We're actually told that he did this with the help of the angel Gabriel.
Might this tale describe a physical abduction in which Muhammad is taken to other dimensions, including heaven, by the angel Gabriel?
Ancient OG, carved in stone, from Philly bricks to thrones, unknown. 808s beat like war drums bang. Old soul talk, let the gods explain. Ancient OG, bloodline strong. Been here before, the right and wrong. From past to now, I still remain. Ancient OG in the hook, remember the name.